This is the car crash investigation.
In this collision, the Ford Expedition rear ends the Kia Optima at rest. This is an inelastic collision because kinetic energy is lost due to the deformation of the objects.
To find the velocities before the collision, we used the formula for an inelastic collision. In the Ford Expedition, we found that their velocity was 10.6 meters per second before the collision, and since the Kia Optima was at rest, their velocity was 0 meters per second. But since the speed limit on the road was 9.72 meters per second, the SUV was speeding by 0.88 meters per second. So for the velocities after the collision, we used the kinematics formula v squared equals VO squared plus 2a delta x. And the Ford Expedition was going 3 meters per second after the collision, and the Kia Optima had a velocity of 12 meters per second after the collision.
Because this is an inelastic collision, the energy before the collision was greater than the kinetic after the collision. Using the formula for work, we found that the total work done during the collision was 18,240 joules. The gravitational potential energy for each of the cars and the system as a whole is 0 because there is no height. The Ford Expedition lost kinetic energy through negative work during the collision because it lost momentum, whereas the Kia Optima gained kinetic energy during the collision because of positive work done. As such, the total system kinetic energy decreased slightly, but was overall still positive.
Impulse is the change in momentum of a system. The impulse graph shows the change in momentum at the system at the point of collision. For the total system as a whole, the impulse is 0 because there is no change in momentum. However, for the SUV, there is a decrease in momentum, so that means that it has a negative area. For the sedan, there is an increase in momentum because it starts at 0, but then at the end it has a positive momentum, therefore it has a positive area. So when you add the areas of the SUV and the sedan together, it creates 0, which is the total overall system.